welcome to Live Interactive English. I'm Matt.
And I'm Sam.
Today we're reading an article called Provence in Purple.
Okay.
So Provence is a region in the south of France.
Okay.
And actually I have been there.
Oh, very cool.
Although it was 20 years ago or so.
Still counts.
So when I was young, I went on a backpacking trip in Europe. My first time going on a backpacking trip. I went with my friend and we went to France to start, and we were in France, first in Paris, and then we took the train down to Provence, to a city called Nice.
I have heard of Nice.
You have heard of Nice. Yes, we saw that on the map and we thought, well, that looks nice. Because it's spelled the same N-I-C-E as the English word nice. And you know what it was? Nice was nice.
Oh, good. I'm glad. Was there anything specific about that area that sticks in your mind, or just the name?
Well, it had great weather, and it's next to a beautiful beach there on the Mediterranean Sea. So it's a really nice place to spend a hot day in the summer. And there's also a lot of beautiful buildings there and interesting things to see. And also in that area, there's another tiny country called Monaco, which we also visited. So it's not actually in Provence, but it's right next to Provence because it's not in France, so it can't.
It's its own little area, it's its own country, but it's very, very, very small. And it's right next to it.
Yeah, so we actually just took a day trip from Nice to there and spent the day there and then back to Nice in the evening.
Oh, that's cool. Did you have to have like a visa or anything to go to Monaco?
No, you didn't need anything like that to go between the two countries.
Sounds cool. I think I'd like to visit.
Okay. So today we're learning more about Provence in our article, Provence in Purple.
Provence is a historic region in southeastern France, stretching from the Mediterranean Sea to the Alps. Widely regarded as one of the most beautiful areas in Europe, it offers towering mountains, picture-perfect beaches, and charming towns. Yet all of the seasons, July may be when Provence is at its most wonderful, and lavender is the reason. Most of Provence's lavender is grown around the plateau of Valençol, where vast fields typically bloom from late June through mid-July. Here, endless rows of bright purple stretch as far as the eye can see. As bees fly by and a sweet smell fills the warm air, it's impossible not to feel relaxed.
All right, so we are going to be looking at our article, and this is day 1 of Provence in Purple. I kind of wonder, what does this purple part mean? I'm hoping that they will explain it to us. So let's go ahead and get right into the article, and it says, Provence is a historic region in southeastern France, stretching from the Mediterranean Sea to the Alps.
Okay, so that's to the Alps, the famous mountain range in Europe. Widely regarded as one of the most beautiful areas in Europe, it offers towering mountains, picture-perfect beaches, and charming towns.
That makes it sound really awesome and really like a place you'd want to go.
So we have the word in there, towering. We have towering mountains. And if something is towering, it means it's very high or very tall, and it extends very high above the surrounding area. So it's above things like a tower. So it's just basically something that's like a tower in that it's so tall. So an example sentence, the towering trees along the trail made me feel tiny.
Yes, and this word is kind of interesting because it does kind of have the feeling of something is so big that it's like over top of you. So you could also say that someone who is really tall, and if they're standing over you like that, you could say, whoa, you're towering over me, because it kind of has that feeling of so tall and so big and almost like, oh, I'm so tiny. And we also had this adjective, charming. Charming just means something that is pleasing or delightful. So something that might be kind of cute, and when you look at it, it's just like, oh, this is such a wonderful thing. If you're talking about a person who is charming, then they are kind of like very charismatic and they are good at talking and you just feel like anything they say you want to listen because it's very pleasing and delightful. But here we were talking about the area or the town, and so our example sentence matches that a little bit better, where it says Penelope thought the small shop was charming. It was cute, it was pleasant, and it just looked so perfect where it was. All right, and if we continue on with our article now, it says, yet of all the seasons, July may be when Provence is at its most wonderful, and lavender is the reason.
Okay, well, that might give us a hint as to why we're seeing Provence in purple. All right, let's go to Hanny.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。这次要介绍的旅游地点是普罗旺斯，它是法国东南部一个历史悠久的地区，从地中海延伸到阿尔卑斯山，被认为是欧洲最美丽的地区之一。那边有高耸的山脉、风景如画的海滩，还有迷人的城镇。在所有季节当中，7月或许就是它最美丽的时候，因为有薰衣草。好，单字 towering 在这边是形容高耸的，或是形容杰出的。Charming 它是形容迷人的、有魅力的。Sam 老师在解释单字时提到 charismatic， 它可以形容有魅力的。那这边有2个重点，第一个要介绍分词构句的用法。用对等连接词 and 去连接2个子句，而且主词相同的话，你可以把其中一个主词跟连接词删除。动词是主动是改为 VING， 被动就保留 PP。例如 The bridge was built in the 17th century, and the bridge is a famous landmark in the city. 看到前后主词一样，我们省略连接词 and 还有前半句的主词，那动词部分就保留过去分词 built， 所以句子就简化成 Built in the 17th century, the bridge is a famous landmark in the city. 建于17世纪，那一座桥是城市里的知名地标。第二个介绍 be regarded as 加上名词或形容词，可以表达被认为是怎么样。它是 regard 受词 as 加上名词或形容词的被动语态。举例来说 ，cutting in line is regarded as rude。插队被认为是无理的，是很没有礼貌的。那我们接着回到课文中。
All right, thanks, Hanny. Let's continue reading. Most of Provence's lavender is grown around the plateau of Valençol, where vast fields typically bloom from late June through mid-July. Okay, so we're saying that these fields bloom. So to bloom means when things are flowering. So when plants have flowers is when they are blooming. Or if you say that a flower just bloomed, you mean that the bud opened up to show the full flower. So an example sentence, the cherry trees in Japan bloom beautifully every spring.
All right, so this definitely is this idea of purple, because in the next part of the article we read, here, endless rows of bright purple stretch as far as the eye can see. As bees fly by and a sweet smell fills the warm air, it's impossible not to feel relaxed. Unless I think you are allergic to bees, then you might not be so relaxed, because there are a lot of bees that hang around lavender plants.
Okay, well, yeah, but the purple will still calm you, maybe make you less afraid of bees.
Hopefully.
All right, let's go to Hanny.
普罗旺斯大多数的薰衣草都是生长在瓦朗索尔高原的周围。那么广阔的花田通常是从6月下旬盛开到7月中旬，你可以看到一大片这种亮紫色的花海。课文写到说，当蜜蜂飞过，温暖的空气中弥漫着甜甜的香气，你不可能不感到放松的。这时候 Sam 老师说，除非是那些对蜜蜂过敏的人。那么 allergic 就是形容过敏的。再看到单字 bloom 动词表示开花绽放，它也可以当名词来表达花的盛开。我们可以用 in full bloom 去表达盛开的意思。接着到课文中。
Okay, thanks, Hanny. So now we know a little about Provence, but we got more to learn when we get to the second part of the article after this.
Beyond their beauty, these fields also serve as a practical purpose. The lavender is harvested for essential oils used in perfumes, soaps, and cosmetics around the world. Lavender also appears in special regional products. Visitors can find lavender-flavored honey, cookies, and ice cream. Outside of these unique treats, everyday cooking in Provence relies more heavily on foods such as olive oil, garlic, tomatoes, and fresh Mediterranean seafood. One of the region's most celebrated dishes is bouillabaisse, a rich fish stew from Marseille.
All right, so we are back and we had just kind of figured out what is this purple supposed to be. And well, it is a ton of lavender plants. But they're not just for looking at. So if we get back to our article, it says, beyond their beauty, these fields also serve a practical purpose. The lavender is harvested for essential oils used in perfumes, soaps, and cosmetics around the world. All right, so again, they're not just for looking at and just pretty and all this stuff. They're actually harvested. So harvest, this verb is the verb that we use when we are collecting crops. So you have just grown something on maybe a farm or in your backyard, and now you are taking those, whatever has grown, you're taking that and then turning it into whatever the next step is. Maybe food, maybe like we saw, essential oils used in perfumes and things like that. So you are taking the crop, the final thing from the crop, and you are harvesting it, collecting it, and moving it to the next step. So our example sentence says, the farm harvests its apples in September and October. So they grow all year, and then September and October is when they pick them all, collect them, and move them to the next step.
Mm-hmm. So as we mentioned, these oils can be used to make things like perfume. So a perfume is usually a mix of different scented oils or oils from different plants or different smelly things. And what you do is you spray that on a person to make yourself smell nice. So you might have seen, in the store, perfume bottles, or you might own some perfume at home, and it's just spray that someone sprays on their body to smell nice. So an example sentence, Ava bought her sister a new perfume from her favorite brand.
All right, so we're learning a little bit more about this lavender field and what it can be used for, but let's go over really quickly to Hanny before we continue on.
那些薰衣草花田除了看起来很美，它们也有实际的用途。像收成的薰衣草会被提炼成精油，用在世界各地的香水、肥皂还有化妆品当中。好，单字 harvest 这个动词它表示收割、采收。Perfume 名词表示香水、芳香。Matt 老师在解释单字时用到 scented 可以形容有香味的。再来文中提到这个 essential oil， 它表示精油。那我们接回到课文中。
Okay, and we'll get back into the article. Lavender also appears in special regional products. Visitors can find lavender-flavored honey, cookies, and ice cream.
Ooh, yum.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't know if I like the smell of lavender is nice, but I don't know if it's good for like soap and perfume. I don't really want to eat soap flavored stuff.
I can't really imagine it, but I feel like anything in ice cream is probably good. I would try the ice cream. I don't know about the cookies, but I'd try the ice cream. Okay. So here we had this adjective regional. Regional is just something that is from a region. Well, what is a region? A region is just a specific part of the world. It doesn't have to necessarily have lines like this country or this state specifically. It could kind of just be like an area. For example, inside of America, we have different regional accents. Depending on which area of America you live, you might talk in a different way or pronounce words differently. But everybody in the United States still speaks English, but slightly different accents on that English. And our example sentence says, regional differences make India's culture richer. So there are many, many different types of cultures in different regions in India, and all together makes a very interesting country. All right, continuing on, we see outside of these unique treats, everyday cooking in Provence relies more heavily on foods such as olive oil, garlic, tomatoes, and fresh Mediterranean seafood. That sounds super yummy.
That does sound great. One of the region's most celebrated dishes is bouillabaisse. a rich fish stew from Marseille. Okay, so that sounds like some really good food and probably a reason enough alone to visit Provence. All right, let's go to Hanny.
课文提到，薰衣草也出现在当地的特色产品中，像薰衣草风味的蜂蜜、饼干，还有冰淇淋。除了这些独特风味点心之外，普罗旺斯的日常料理则是更依赖橄榄油、大蒜、番茄，还有新鲜的地中海海鲜等等食物。好，来看单字 regional， 它是形容地区的、区域的。那这边一个重点是outside of， 它是片语介系词，后面要接名词或动名词，它可以表达出两种意思，一个是表达除了点点点之外还有什么，这时候意思相当于 in addition to、besides 还有 beyond， 用来补充说明额外的人事物。像 outside of painting, she also enjoys gardening。除了画画，她也喜欢园艺。好，它另外一个意思可以表达除了点点点之外没有什么，意思就相当于 except for。和 other than 用来排除某人事物之后说明其余的情况，例如 Nobody knows the truth outside of Ron， 除了 Ron 没有人知道真相。那介华课文中
Okay, thank you, Hanny. So Provence sounds like a great place to visit. They've got flowers, you've got flower-flavored goodies.
Yeah.
And you've also got some other really good sounding Mediterranean food, and that sounds like reason enough to go. But we've got more reasons why you might want to travel to Provence when we come back next time for part 2.
Provence is a historic region in southeastern France, stretching from the Mediterranean Sea to the Alps. Widely regarded as one of the most beautiful areas in Europe, it offers towering mountains, picture-perfect beaches, and charming towns. Yet all of the seasons, July may be when Provence is at its most wonderful, and lavender is the reason. Most of Provence's lavender is grown around the plateau of Valensole, where vast fields typically bloom from late June through mid-July. Here, endless rows of bright purple stretch as far as the eye can see. As bees fly by and a sweet smell fills the warm air, it's impossible not to feel relaxed. Beyond their beauty, these fields also serve as a practical purpose. The lavender is harvested for essential oils used in perfumes, soaps, and cosmetics around the world. Lavender also appears in special regional products. Visitors can find lavender-flavored honey, cookies, and ice cream. Outside of these unique treats, everyday cooking in Provence relies more heavily on foods such as olive oil, garlic, tomatoes, and fresh Mediterranean seafood. One of the region's most celebrated dishes is bullheaded, a rich fish stew from Marseille.
最后我们来复习今天课文里的单字文法。单字的部分有 towering 是形容高耸的、杰出的， charming 是形容迷人的、有魅力的， bloom 当动词表示开花绽放，当名词可以指花的盛开， harvest 动词表示收割、采收， perfume 名词表示香水、芳香， regional 则是形容地区的、区域的。文法的部分，第一个学到分词构句的用法，用对等连接词 and 去连接两个子句，而且主词相同的话，我们可以把其中一个主词跟连接词删除，动词是主动就改成 VING， 被动就保留 PP。第二个学到 be regarded as 加上名词或形容词，可以表达被认为是怎么样。第三个学到 outside of 它是片语介系词，后面接名词或动名词，可以表达的意思有两种，一个是除了点点点之外还有什么，另外一个是除了点点点之外就没有什么什么。好，那以上是今天的讲解，同学别走开，马上回来哦。
I can't believe Mark refused to change the design, even after the client pointed out several issues.
I know, seriously, how can he be so bullheaded?
Bullheaded? Are you saying that he has a bull's head or something?
No, not literally. I just mean that, he always does things his own way and he doesn't really listen to the opinions or ideas of others.
I see. Now that you mention it, I don't think I've ever seen anyone actually sway him.
Yeah, I mean, I understand being proud of like what you're doing and your ideas, but being so inflexible, it's going to damage your reputation and you're definitely going to lose sales.
Hi everyone! Today we'll be discussing the term bullheaded.
Right, it means being stubborn and sticking firmly to your own ideas, beliefs, or plans.
Imagine a bull charging forward with its head down, heading straight for its target without thought.
A bullheaded person is much the same, pushing forward with their own ideas and ignoring others' opinions or advice.
Here's an example sentence. She's so bullheaded that no one can change her mind.
Or the manager was bullheaded about the new policy and ignored all suggestions from the team.
Being bullheaded shows dedication to your own principles, but letting it fully control your choices may cause conflict or hold you back.
Definitely. Stand by your ideas, but keep an open mind.
And that's all for today.
All right, we'll see you guys later.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.